The trade war is about to make cheap online shopping sprees for U.S. shoppers perhaps a thing of the past. Next Friday, May 2nd, the de minimis tax loophole for packages under $800 rather to enter the U.S. tax-free ends. Chinese giants Temu and Shein have already warned of price hikes. They have thrived by shipping directly from Chinese factories to U.S. consumers without duties. While some U.S.-based retailers may celebrate, others, like drop shippers and small private label brands using Chinese suppliers, face the same tariff shock. And Chinese sellers will have to absorb the cost or raise prices. For more on the online retail sector in China, let's bring in William Lee, Chief Economist at the Milken Institute. William, good to see you.
Hey, Sean, thanks for having me.
Okay, let's talk about this. How much will the consumer feel the impact of these new tariffs on platforms like Shein and Temu?
These platforms have really succeeded in a phenomenal way by being able to sell to the retailers around the world, and in particular the United States, at a very low cost, extraordinarily low cost, and the popularity has really gained because of that. It's a very successful business model, but like we've been talking about before with the tariff, it has changed the way supply lines are being shaped. It's changed the global trading system. So models like Temu and Shein, who were so successful in exploiting the arbitrage of being able to sell at low prices in the United States under the old rules, may not find it so easy to do anymore. And I think the consumers who are so used to these very low bargain prices are going to get a sticker shock in the sense that if the companies who are selling are not able to absorb more of that tariff impact, then it's going to be the consumer.
Let's talk about shoppers. Who will be most affected by these price increases on imported goods? Who are they?
From what I hear here in the United States, I personally have never used Temu, but all of the friends that tell me they do use it are all over the spectrum. They're from high income to low income people, but in particular, people looking for bargains. I think most of my friends who use Temu claim that they are the best shoppers in the world and look for the best bargains around. So in that sense, a lot of people will share in the higher price burden if it were to come across. But it's not clear they will come across because the people who put together the businesses on Temu are very good at finding ways of cutting costs, and they may be able to find ways of operating in a way that will circumvent some of the high tariffs.
Interesting. What about American retailers? Do you think in any way they're going to be able to offer similar products at comparative prices? I mean, we get so much from China, and if this trade war really does take root, so much of what we buy is simply going to see a spike in price.
Absolutely, Sean. I think the supply lines right now have solidified around the single sourcing of China, and we're starting to see some gradual pulling away from it over the last year or two. Vietnam and Cambodia being the main sources, but they again have been identified as proxy transshipment centers for China, and the Trump administration has put tariffs on them as well. But I think the American retailers like Amazon and Walmart online and some of the American competitors to Temu are probably going to start to gain some market share because they can offer some American products that are similar, probably different quality, and be able to assure delivery in a way that Temu and Shein might not be able to.
Yeah, let's talk about the broader implications of limiting these platforms in the U.S. market. What do you think they are?
Well, I think what it does is that it shuts down a source of competition for American distributors and American retailers. And in a way, it encourages the Temu business people to perhaps set up shop here in the United States. That was the objective of putting these tariff barriers around the United States, encourage foreign investments in the United States. And to the extent that the businesses are successful in being able to move some of their production into the United States or into near United States areas like Canada and Mexico, where they'll face fewer tariffs, I think that's the way that they're going to go about doing it. Now, what that means for China would be a loss of employment and production there. But then again, China already has excess capacity. So in that sense, I think part of President Xi's plan to restructure the dual circulation strategy, to restructure the domestic economy to high value added production, that I think is consistent with those objectives.
And talk about the innovations that these companies have really brought to e-commerce. I mean, there are people that really love the brick and mortar stores, but you can't beat point, click, buy.
Well, China has truly been the heart of global innovation in e-commerce. And I think one of the things that we'll discover is that those models that they have created are being copied by retailers around the world, including Walmart, Amazon, and some of the American retailers. So I think the revolution that's been started in China for e-commerce, especially with Alibaba and these lower discounters, is spreading around the world.
Okay, we talked about Temu, Shein, but what about small Chinese sellers? Are they likely to survive if import taxes really go up significantly? And despite the tariffs aimed at these well-known companies, there are companies out there that try to build themselves, like you can buy directly from China, skirt the tariff. Do you think there are going to be different avenues out there?
That's a great point, Sean. In fact, the direct-to-consumer model is the new innovation that's shaking up things right now. I see so many YouTube and TikTok ads from Chinese distributors and Chinese producers saying, hey, you want the same quality as the name brand Louis Vuitton and some of the European designer brand names? You can buy it from us, the same stuff, but without the logo, and you'll find that you'll pay much lower prices. Those sorts of innovations for the small producer in China will be a real shot in the arm, because they can then directly sell the similar quality products to global consumers. Now, the question is, will global consumers want the high quality item, or do they want the logo? And many of the consumers out there just want the logo.
Indeed. William Lee, always a pleasure, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.